Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Harachakwadash, and double honors to the elders at Great Millstone of Shalom, Wa Barakathum, to the elect of the nation of Israel. Now I was just reading a little bit of Philemon, which is a one chapter book, but it's very, very it's encouraging. This was Paul praying to a man or an apostle named Philemon. It talks about having faith, praying for the brotherhood, praying for the saints. Basically, strengthening one another. That's what this is all about. This book, which most Israelites, I rarely I don't even hear them go into this book. I never hear them go into this book. Now we're gonna get into who Philemon is. We're gonna go into a little bit of him. It doesn't really give you. I'm not gonna really bring out too much on him because it doesn't really. I was looking him up. It doesn't really give you too much on him. But we know he was an Israelite. We know that for a fact. All right. The only ones that get it talks about the saints, and we know when you read Psalm 148, verse 14. The saints are Israel. When you read the book of Daniel, the saints are the Israelites. All right, but anyway, it says Philemon 1:1, which is a one chapter book, right? Paul, a prisoner of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, and that's the Lord's real name. Okay, Yahweh Shai, not Jesus, but Yahweh Shai. And Mashiach or Hamashiach means the anointed. And Timothy, our brother, unto Philemon, our dearly beloved and fellow laborer, and to our beloved Aphia and Archippus, our fellow soldier, and to the church in thy house, grace to you and peace from God our Father Yahweh and the Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. I thank my God. This is Paul praying. I thank my God, making mention of thee always in my prayers. So he was constantly, Paul had Philemon on his mind. He was constantly praying for Philemon. He was constantly praying for other brothers. And that's how we have to, also, we have to be in that spirit. We have to pray for brothers. We have to pray that the Lord heals you. The scriptures tell you to pray for the sick. We have to pray that the Lord could help a brother in his situation, whether it's financially, spiritually, physically. We have to pray for those brothers. All right, instead of wishing death and harm on a brother, you have to pray for a brother. All right, which most Israelites just don't know how to do that, and I'm just putting it out there. Most Israelites don't really know what that means, praying for a brother continually and hoping that he's hoping that he can recover from whatever illness he has, and pray that he will be delivered. Philemon 1:4. I thank my God, make a mention of thee always in my prayers, hearing of thy love and faith. Yahweh Shai talked about having love, genuine love for the brotherhood, laying down your life for the brotherhood, and faith. Yes, we're supposed to have faith. Have faith. That's very important, especially in the times we're living in. We must have faith, which thou hast toward the Lord Yahweh Shai. See, Philemon had faith toward the Lord Yahweh Shai. He believed in Yahweh Shai. And toward all saints. Verse 5 in the NLT. Because I keep hearing about your faith in the Lord Yahweh Shai and your love for all of God's people. And we know that God's people are the Israelites. And Philemon was an Israelite. Paul, of course, we know he was an Israelite. Timothy was an Israelite. His father was just Hellenized, or he was just in that Gentile state of mind. But Philemon, right? I looked him up, and I also got this Google, looked up Philemon on Google. Philemon, one who kisses, a resident of Colossae. Now, Colossae is in Asia Minor. Colossae, converted to Christianity. That's off. We don't believe in Christianity. By Paul, we're the real Christians. Yeah, we are Christians, but we don't follow Christianity. See, there's a difference. All right, Christianity was brought forth, I say, around like 325 A.D. by Constantine and some of those church fathers. All right, by it says a resident of Colossae converted. Okay, to Christianity. I'll just read it word for word. Christianity by Paul, and the recipient of the letter bearing his name, a Christian. All right, Christian just simply means, right? He was called a Christian. He was a follower of Yahweh Shai. All right, so let me just bring out a little more information on him. This, the epistle to Philemon, is one of the books of the Christian New Testament. It is a prison letter authorized by Paul the Apostle. So they're saying that Paul was in prison when he wrote this letter. It's attributed to Paul, but they say that Paul was in prison when he wrote this letter. It is a prison letter authored by Paul. I say okay, but authored by Paul the Apostle. The opening verse also mentions Timothy to Philemon, a leader in the Colossian church. It deals with the themes of forgiveness and reconciliation. Paul does not identify himself as one apostle with authority, but as a prisoner of Yahushua HaMashiach, calling Timothy our brother and addressing Philemon as fellow laborer and brother. A brother Philemon 1:1, 1:7, 1:20. Onesimus, a slave that had departed from his master Philemon. So Onesimus is also written in Philemon. He was someone that just departed or left for Philemon. But it says it calls Onesimus a slave. Now, does that mean that Philemon was abusing Onesimus? He wasn't abusing Onesimus. Okay, he wasn't doing that to the brother. Because when you read Leviticus 25 in the law, when you go back into the law, it tells you how to basically handle a situation with an Israelite or a foreigner, right? And one of those things was not to make him a bond servant, to treat him like a non-Israelite, look down on him, misuse him. A slave that departed from his master Philemon was returning with this epistle, wherein Paul asked Philemon to receive him as a brother beloved. Philemon 1:9 and Philemon 1:17. Philemon, I say Philemon. That's how I pronounce the name. I say Philemon. What is it? Wealthy Christian. So he's rich. He had money. A lot of Jakes during the Roman Empire, they had money. Because this was during the Roman Empire. Was a wealthy Christian, like our brother Cornelius. He had money. Joseph of Arimathea, he had money. Possibly a bishop of the house church that met in his home. Philemon 1:1-2 in Colossae. This letter is now generally regarded as one of the undisputed works of Paul. It is the shortest of Paul's extant letters, consisting of only 335 words in the Greek text. Composition. The epistle to Philemon was composed or written around AD 57 through AD 62 by Paul while in prison at Caesarea Maritima. Early date or more likely from Rome, later date, in conjunction with the composition of Colossians. Authorship. The Epistle of Philemon is attributed to the Apostle Paul. I did say that right. Yeah, attributed, right. And this attribution has rarely been questioned by scholars, along with 6 others. See, it was questioned by scholars, along with 6 others. It is numbered among the undisputed letters, which are widely considered to be authentically Pauline. Well, now, they have a saying. Called antilogomena and homologomena. Antilogomena means disputed or spoken against a disputed text, literally spoken against. Some scholars believe that certain things were not written by certain apostles, and some scholars believe that they were, right? That's what antilogomena means, all right? And that term was coined by a guy named Eusebius. He coined that term, antilogomena. And there's another saying called homologomena, which means written texts that are canon and authoritative. It could also mean agreed upon. It could also mean agreed upon. But we know that everything was inspired by the Most High. It was God-breathed. So that's why we use these books, whether it's the book of Hebrews, whether it's the book of Philemon. It does not matter. It's in the Bible. It's inspired by the Most High. Hey, a lot of shit you say, a lot of stuff that a lot of you Jakes say, everything really is inspired by the Most High because he controls the spirits. He's the Father of spirits. So really, you can't win. There's no win-win situation. You can't win. Everything on this earth, whether negative or positive, is inspired by the Most High. He's the Father of spirits. All right? It tells you that in 2 Timothy 3:16. Okay? It talks about the inspiration of God. All right? But anyway, that was just a little something I wanted to bring out. But it's a very powerful book. It's a 1-chapter book, very encouraging, very, very, very powerful book to read. All right. So with that, shalom.